recording, and the recording is on. So I have some good news because it's in Dutch, but my book is there. Oh, you can't see it. It's in. I see it's in reverse. So, but okay, it's wonderlijk vrij. Wonderfully free it's called, but it's the image on the front. So it's there, but it's Dutch. So for the Dutch people, maybe you want to read it. You can order it with me or on the website of Samsara if you want to. So finally, it's there after 2 years writing and editing. So maybe some people already have it. So I'm curious if you already have it, that if there are some questions about that. So this talking is just talking about nothing. This is no thing. This is not real. Nothing is real. It's only apparently real. And that's so crazy and so strange to talk about, that it's also very strange to start talking. How can you say this? There are no words. Wait, one moment. John, moet even het geluid zachter zetten. There are no words to tell what's going on. There are only words in the story. And when there are words in the story, it's always about two. When there's describing, there's always two. In the story, when there's a me, and it's your life, and it's about your life, what's going on with your body and your thoughts and everything. There can be a thinking of and belief and a understanding. Oh, it's not my thought, it's not my body. So you're talking about the body, and there are thoughts. But it's still related in some way, related to something that's going on here. In fact, it's not. And that's so strange. But how can you say it? It's impossible to tell. That's the strange thing from these meetings. This is talking about nothing. And yet there's talking in the story. And then there seems to be a development. In the story, always there seems to be a development. When there's listening to these meetings, when there's someone going on and feeling or believing or knowing that you are there, it can't be heard that there's no one. When there's no one, it seems to be there's Roes and there's no me inside, but it's not like that. There's no Roes. There's even, the body is even apparent. So nothing is going on, but that's so strange for the mind to get that. It's impossible. And yet there's some longing for something like that. But when there's someone going on, then when there's a me or there's someone or there's a life for me, there's always some sense of missing, of being not inside, of in it, but it's some distance. There's always some distance, like me and the chair, me and other people. And there's in some way a longing that me isn't there. But the me isn't there, there's always a concept, like me is someone, and how can I lose the me? Something like that. I had that in that way. I was always looking to, I am here and I want to lose my me, something like that. It's not, it can't be. Me cannot lose the me. It's already not there. It's just empty. There's no real solid body. It's empty. It's seen as body. There's nothing inside. There's nothing outside, but there's also nothing inside. That's so weird because we are so used that to fill in and to have so many concepts that don't seem like concept. They seem like it's just like that. We assume that there's a solid body, there's someone inside, their thoughts, it's my thoughts, I'm doing the thoughts. So everything is about doing or not doing. How can I do this? How can I not do this? How can I understand this? Always about doing or not doing. And this is not about doing. But when there's someone, it can't not do. So trying not to do is also doing. So it's like stuck. It's like, oh, what's going on here? This is outside of the normal story we are used to. So there are coming a lot of questions, and we'll do that in a minute. And that this is not about understanding. That's also very strange, because normally when we understand, then maybe you think then it will go better. It doesn't matter if you understand. This is not about understanding. It's just life. Life is going by itself. So it doesn't need anything. It doesn't need to be understood. It's just life. That's the weird thing of humans, that we think that by understanding or by a lot of thinking and using our free will to do it and make our life better or something like that, that's in our control. There's no control. That's so amazing. It's so normal to feel that there's some control or there's not control, but you try to have control or something like, or you try to surrender, something like that. But there's already no control. It's just going. It's just happening. It's apparent, but it's just happening. No one doing it. So there's no good or wrong, of course. There's just what's happening. It's very neutral. There's no reason. There's also no inside or outside, but there's also no before and after. So there's no time. That's also, how can you understand there's no time? Maybe you can understand there's no time because in holidays, you don't know the time and it's going like that and you don't know how late it is or something like that, which day it is. But this is even more than that there's no before and there's no after. So there is no development. There's just what is, apparently. And nothing is real. It's crazy. And in the same time, it's just so simple and normal and nothing special at all. Everything is going just like it is. So that's maybe also the mystery, that there's a mystery going on. It seems like, how is that possible? There's no consciousness. There can be consciousness like watching to yourself and see yourself doing things, or looking at yourself and talking about what's the best thing to do. And suddenly there's no consciousness, there's no awareness. It's just what's going on, and nothing is questioned or thinking about it. It's just like that. And that's not a special state or something like that. It's very normal. And it's everything. It's everything. So it's already there. Nothing to look for. It's just everything. So when there are a lot of thoughts about I don't understand, then there are thoughts I don't understand. They don't have any meaning. It's just I don't understand. That's the energy. That's life, thoughting. Or there can be other thoughts, or they can be moving or anything. That's already what is. So it's there. It's the only thing there is. It can't be not life. It's everything. So looking for it is just the same. It's just life looking for itself. But it's not in a special like, oh, life is looking for itself and there are a lot of things going around that. It's very, very simple. It's even like life is looking for itself is already a story. It's just life. In thoughts, thoughting, walling, hand moving, anything, without any meaning at all. That's the joy. No meaning, no purpose. It's just this. It's everything. There's nothing is better than something else or worse, and it can be anything. It can be pain. It can be feeling grumpy. Anything. It's not a better life. This is not about a better life. It's just like it is. And that's already the case. So it's finished. The only dream from people, it's like, oh no, it isn't it. There's something going on like meaning or abstracting what is. It's just what is. Very simple, normal. Not somebody who can talk about it very special, things like that. There's not knowing. It's also about not knowing. Not knowing anything. It's not knowing what's happening next. You don't know. Of course you don't know. But it doesn't matter. Because everything is it. So it's already life. It's already everything. Feeling there's someone or believing there's someone, then there's believing there's someone. That's what's happening. So nothing can be wrong, or there's nothing to look for. That's the crazy thing. So maybe there are some questions about this, or wanting to say something, or maybe you have some experiences, or I don't know. Every question, everything is just a good question. There are no wrong questions or silly. No, it can be anything. Also about the story. This is not a meeting, then we don't talk about the story because that's a story. No, if there's a story and you want to talk about that, please do. Why not? Doesn't matter. That's also life. So if you want to, you can unmute yourself and say something or talk or chat. I do the chat. Oh yeah, I've got. Oh yeah. One moment. Okay. If there's nothing to do, what has to happen to shift out of the I perspective? Yeah. When there's a me, there seems to be something wrong, something missing, something not there. There's something I'm here and there, and there's subtle feeling of missing or something frustrating or something going on. And there's a search, there can be a search for something to end that or to let it go or to, no, anything we do. So most of the time, the search is in the story. Because that's the only thing you know. So it's all, most of the questions are also in the story. But there's nothing it seems that there has been a shift, but nothing has happened. It's the dream that didn't happen anymore. But it's always like that. It's when there's something, then there's something, then when there's this, and then there's this. It's not a development. It's not before there was this and after was that. That's how we think in the story. That before there's time, and there's before, and that's after the shift. That's how we look at each other, and then we see, say, my story, like Roes has a story, and then first there was a me, and then there was something going on, or how do you call it? And then there was no me anymore, and then she started talking about there's no me, something like that. That's in the story, that's the only thing you can tell in the story. But in the same time, that's the paradox, that's the mystery. There's nothing happening. There's nothing did happen. There's no past. There's just this. So there's no before, and then a shift, and then there's after. There is no shift. That's so strange, because we're so used that when there's someone going on, that feels like there's someone going on, you think that maybe that's the solution for, then when there's no me, everything will go on maybe more easy or something like that. There is already no me, so there's no need for a shift. It's just what is happening already. And when there's a me, there's always abstracting what's going on. So it seems like, oh, there's something going on. Oh, maybe that's the me. And oh, how can I rid of? So there are a lot of stories. That's what's happening. That's life going like that. And it's a dream. It's a dream. There's nothing going on. So it's the dream that abstracts. In the dream, the me is abstracting what's going on, making it something else. When you think there's some stress in the body or some contracting, there's just contracting. That's life. That's just what's apparently happening. It's there and it's not there, but it's that. That's it. So there's nothing wrong or needs a shift or something like that. The thoughts, when there are thoughts, they just come from nowhere. So it's not that you need to think differently or there has to be no thoughts anymore or something like that. It's just all thoughts are just life happening, thoughting. And it seems there seems to be meaning or importance. And it's like that. That's also life. But it's exactly that. Everything is already 100%. And it's not about feeling completely free. That's a state. This is not talking about a state. So this is not about always joy or always free or something like that. That's abstract. And it can't be, and in the same time, this is freedom. So that's the paradox. You can't say how the freedom is. I don't know how to say that. What I can say about that is there's nothing going on, not that I want that or do that, or there's nothing going on to change anything. That's by itself. It's just what is happening. When there's pain, but yeah, maybe they are taking pills, but it's not like there's a relationship between taking pills and then, or there's pain and then they are taking pills. There are no relations. It's crazy. It's in the story, it's crazy and not understandable. And in the same time, it's so simple. It's so normal. It's just what's happening, very neutral. That's it. So.
Oh, hi, Rose. You hear me?
The freedom is that it's everything. It's everything. Thinking, any thinking, people doing, a car is crashing into your face. It's not, this is not about having a better life. It's just very simple describing what's happening. But without any meaning, purpose, anything.
Do you hear me, Rose? Hello? Hello?
Oh, there's somebody talking. Oh, I don't hear it. How?
Do you hear me
Piano.
now?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
hearing. Oh, yeah.
hey, Rose.
Okay. Okay. Oh, now I'm very, one moment. It's very loud now. Yeah, I'm hearing. Yeah, okay.
Hello. My question is, how is this possible that if the me is seen as an illusion and it's still can be observed that it produces seemingly thoughts and wishes and oh, something is not right. So how can an illusion produce things like thinking and talking about what's not good? So
Mm.
how can an illusion produce things which seem to be not an illusion?
Yeah, I understand. But it's not that illusion produces that, it's just life. So thoughts are just life thoughting. It's just an energy thoughting. It's not by the illusion or by me. It's just life, like plants arising, thoughts arising. Wishes is also kind of thoughts, I think, arising.
But it seems to
But do
be
you think
always
that,
a difference between when there is a me, there are different thoughts. Like, but I know this is like a story, as you say. Like
yeah,
when Rose had a me, so I hear, oh, then there were thoughts like, oh, I'm not good enough, and I have to search. And now there is no me, so then these thoughts are not there anymore. So then
mm,
it seems like something really happens when there is a
yeah,
me and there is no me, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, I know. But when there's a me, everything seems real. So then it's in the story. That's the mystery in the story. Then there's comparing, like, oh, she has no thoughts about not having that, not being good enough or things like that, and I have that. So there's a difference. So how can I lose that, or what is there going on? That's what always the me will compare to some
Mm.
other things that it thinks it's there. There's no Rose. You don't know. There's somebody talking, and then there may be words coming, but there's no Rose. There's no one. There's just what is. So there's some face talking, but that's so strange, because we're so used to think, oh, there's a body there and a face. Oh, there's Rose with her history, and in that history there was going on that and that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we think in the story. And that other people are having that and comparing. And then there's a hearing like, oh, there is no history, there's no time, there's even no Rose, there's no, I don't see what you are called. You are, who are you? What is your name?
Oh, Suzanne.
Suzanne. There's
Yeah.
also no Suzanne.
Mhm.
There's no Suzanne. There's just live Suzanning, but that's just that. There's no before or after. So there are no other people, they're just bodies. And they seems to be real and solid. That's the curse of being someone, there seems to be everything is real and solid and other people, and so that's threatening. So there has to be a survival system, and in the same time it's a dream. But for when there's feeling or believing or having a thinking, oh, I'm there, that everything is so real. So it's the only thing that this is going on here, it's going on here. It's like there's something not talking in the story. There's some words and there are no answers for that story question. So there's something strange because we are so used to get answers of our questions in the stories of what is going on here, or why is this, or me is always asking why. And then there's no answer. It's not about why, it's just describing what is happening. So we are so used to that there's somebody, and then you think about yourself and compare, but that's the whole dream, which is really important. It's always about yourself, something like that. And it's like, oh, how can I do that? Or why is this? And it's just the moving of the hand. It's already that. It's shouting like, hello, it's just that. It's not about understanding or why, or it's just, whoa, that's it already. But it's so tiny, it's not even noticed. It's just noticed. Of course, it's just there. It can't be not there, but it's like, it has to be something. But it's everything. Oh, I'm nearly shouting. It's like, oh, yeah. Mm.
So it is not even a difference between in that body, mind, organism, in my body, in Suzanne's body, mind, organism, there is a dream apparently happening, and in Rose's body, mind, organism, there's no dream anymore happening. So we can't even say that's even not true.
No, that's even not a difference, because it seems like a dream, but in the same time, it's just thoughts happening. But to describe it, what's going on, then that it's said it's just a dream, because when there are a lot of thoughts happening, it seems like very real and important, and it's not. Well, it doesn't matter if it's like that, because when there's a lot of things going on and it seems very important and stressful, then that's what's happening already. So there's no one, it's just empty. But this is not about believing what I'm saying or so, but it's just a different way of seeing things, and a suggestion like, oh, there's something else. Oh, there's somebody saying something else that what I'm normally used to think about. Hey, what is that? And sometimes it's like, oh, there's a recognition or not. Can also be, but it's the same. There's no difference between me and you in that sense. That's what we always think. There's somebody who has no me anymore, something like that. It's the same. It's the same, but maybe you saying, no, there's not. It's not the same. Something like that. Maybe that's the difference. Yeah. It's just what's happening.
It's hard to talk about it. Language is always not perfectly showing it. Yes.
But that's maybe also the talking and the conversation is not only about words. It's underneath the words also. There's something going on underneath. It's not only because when you're writing it down, then it becomes something real and truth or something like it. This is not truth. There's something, there's hearing words and there's something else going on. It's energetic.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks.
Hello, Rose. Do you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi.
Yeah. Is there a God for you?
A God? No.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No, I think it's a concept.
Okay.
God? What is God? I don't see God. Can see carpets or walls. It's an abstraction of something from a mystery or something. It's just what's happening. Very concrete, and it's apparent, but it's also concrete like pain or a wall, just that.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you.
What you see as God then? What you see as God? Maybe it's just life. Some people call it God, can be like that. And maybe that's the same, I don't know. I would say life or energy or something like that. Some people call it God, but there can be some misunderstanding because there's so many concepts about that.
Did you ever believe in God?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I think like, but it was somebody who was looking at me, and I was afraid that that he looked at me, and I thought, oh, do I do the right thing? Because then he's seeing everything, something like that. So it didn't feel very nice for me. And then I thought, oh, maybe God is the same as my father. Something like that. Something.
Okay.
It was always about doing the right thing. Yeah, for me. It's maybe not for you. I don't know. It's can be different.
Thank you.
Yeah. Another chat. Hard to ask something if the question is just a question. Yeah. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. It's just the questions, and sometimes it's just coming. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that, oh, don't ask questions because the question is just a question. No, that's a concept. That's nothing. When there's just something coming and just saying something or asking, then that's what's happening. So what? That's all right, of course.
There's another question.
Another question. Oh, from which perspective are you experiences? From which perspective are you experiencing? There is no perspective or experience. It's just so difficult to tell. It's just, there's no perspective. How can you say what's happening? It's impossible to tell just how it is. There's, how can you say it? There's nothing watching it. There's nothing experiencing it. It's just what is happening. Whoa, how can you say it? It's just sound, thoughts, moving the head. There can be thoughts about, oh, what is going on here? And then that's gone. Yeah. No perspective. Is another one. Is there an apparent cause for the dissolve of the me? No. No. There is no me. There is already no me, nowhere. It's not that there's here with Roes, there's no me. No, there's no Roes, but there was never a me already. That's the laughter also a little bit like, oh my God, oh, of course there was never a me. It's just okay. And there's no dissolving of anything. That's the strange thing. We're so, as humans, we're so convinced that there's someone, and then when there's something missing or something not right, or and then you think, oh, maybe non-duality, there's no me. That sounds a bell somewhere. So I feel I have a me, and that's very strong or whatever. And then how can I lose that? And a lot of people talking about that. There is no me. It's just empty. It seems that there's a solid body, but you see a front. That's it. There's nothing inside. It's very convincing that there's something inside because you see an operation or you see, and we are so like when there's an abstract mind, we have people can abstracting. The brain can abstracting. So it's very easy to have an image or a concept about what's going on. But it's and then suddenly that's not there. I don't know how that's going. It's just not there. And then it suddenly seems like, oh, it's just very simple what is seen, like little children. When you talk to little children about abstract things, about what happened 3 days ago, they look at you like, what are you talking about? They don't understand. It's the same thing. the difference with little children is that I can understand, but it's not real. So the brain still works, but it's so obvious it's not real. It's just abstracting that, but it's not wrong. It's just life happening like that. Watching movies or making appointments. It's just like that. But it's still happening, but there's nothing going on. And that's not a philosophy or that you know there's nothing going on. It's not about knowing there's nothing going on. It's energetic. It's just not going on. So it's something else than that. A lot of people I hear talking, then they know there's nothing going on. This is not about knowing there's nothing going on, or it's empty or things like that. It's like, how can you say that? It's just, oh, it's empty. Oh, it's empty. God. Something like that. I can't say. It's no big deal, but in the same time, when there's talking with people, like there's a lot of things going on in their lives and things like that. Then there's remembering like, oh my God, yeah, something like that. Did your life change after you, it's empty? No, I'm sorry. No, it's just like, and it's, no, everything is just it's just doing shopping. There's not that there's someone else now doing the shopping. It's just normal life. There's not now much more money or much more joy like that. There's always joy, but sometimes it's a little bit and then it's more, and there's pain. The funny thing is, it's a bit, that's always also like the joy is even, it's just, how can you say it? You could say there's more joy, but that's also tricky because then you think, oh, that's the difference. Life is joy. Life is joy. Like little children, they're just pure joy. Like that's life. And there's something going on, like, oh, and then when there's more distant, like there's being two, or how do you call it, that there's a cramp, and then there's an abstracting, like, oh, I'm someone, and separation going on. And it seems like that's such an embodiment, like there's separation and there's something missing, there's something going on, like that dream. And so in the story, it seems like there's a dream and there's contraction and there's separation, and then suddenly there's no separation anymore. And then there's joy. It will always be heard like that, because we are hearing, as human, we are hearing like, oh, there's a before, there's an after, and there's a longing, and she has that, what I long for. And then there's talking like, it's not like that. It's not that I have something other people don't. I have nothing. I have nothing. It's like losing everything. It's losing everything. There's nothing left. Nothing. No Roes. Even no Roes. It's just nothing. So, yeah. And there's apparently life. There's living in a house or something like that. Just go. It's. Then I want nothing. Yeah. And you don't. Because it's losing everything. And that seems to be, that's the strong thing. There's a longing for, I don't want that. I want that, of course. I remember. And in the same time, there's a fear of losing everything. Losing, because that's your life. That's there's so much invested in you are there, and it's not only in the head that there's a fear. It's an embodied thing. Like, oh, there's such a survival mechanism. It's so strong. It's so strong. Can be so strong. And for some bodies it's very strong. Sometimes it's not that strong. There's a fear. There's a fear going on also. And in normal day, like you think, oh, I want nothing. I just want to lose everything. And then suddenly there's something going on and you think, oh no, I don't want my boyfriend to leave. So, I don't know, something like that. There's so many, but it's about losing control. There's no control. And it's not about losing control in the end, because there was already no control. So it's always a paradox. There's already nothing. So it's the only thing there is. There's apparently everything. Like, it seems like there's bodies and walls and anything, but it's apparent. It's not real. It's a mirage. So it's already there. Everything is already lost. Also, in that sense, you could say there's nothing. But the dream is I am there and I have a lot of things, a lot of concepts, beliefs, things like that going on. And I have to lose that or something like that thinking. There is no one, so there's also no one who can lose control or can lose anything. But it feels like that. So, God, yeah. There's another one. So life makes not something of me instead of the other way around. Life makes not something of me. Well, life is just life. Yeah. It's not me. It's more like there's some abstracting and making something else of what's going on. It seems like everything seems important because you are there. You have to survive something that's going on. The search going on, like, oh, there's something not wrong. I have to make it right, or I have to find what is missing. That's so strong. That's so embodied. And then suddenly there's some hearing people, words I said about, there's nothing missing. Like, huh? What's this? And sometimes there's something in it, in what is said here, there's something in it like, oh, maybe a remembering or recognition, something. Maybe not an understanding, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's so easy. It's the most easy thing. Life is very easy. And no problems. There's just life. There's just going by itself. No needs for decisions or so. And it doesn't mean that when people say, oh, do you want coffee or tea? I don't say, oh, I'm waiting for the decision of life. Maybe there's just, oh, coffee or something. It's just there. It's just easy. And it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter doesn't mean I don't care. It's just can be pain and feeling like, no, then there's, yeah, just normal. Oh, it's a chatting time. Glimpses and losing the me don't seem to be the same thing. Because people, where the me stopped, say it's a total surprise when it happened, what would you say? Glimpses and losing the me. A glimpse is then there's suddenly just that. There's no me. It's okay. The me seems a very solid, maybe solid thing. It's not, but it seems like, oh, there's no me in that moment. There's just what's happening. There's nothing going on about abstracting or beliefs or anything. It's just what's happening. That's the claims. And then suddenly that whole what's going on and looking at it and wanting it and feeling like, oh, I don't have it or things like that. That whole dream, it's just there. But it's an energetic thing. It's not like, oh, I have a me. There was no me and now I have it back or something like that. It's just something different. It's just, it's everything. A glimpse is everything, and then there's thoughts coming about, oh, I'm here and I'm looking at that and I'm wanting that and now it's different. That's also everything. It's just different. But for the me, it feels like frustration because I want that. Yeah. But it can't see that thoughts and feelings or stress or cramps are it. It's just that. It's just life, cramping. Not in the body, it's just somewhere, it's sensation somewhere, without any story. And if there's a story, then there's a story, a lot of thoughts. Then there's thoughts, that's life thoughting. But for the me, when there's a feeling of me and that story, it seems like, yeah, you can say that, but. So there can be frustration also. It can be a surprise when suddenly everything stops and there's just this. Wow, that's certainly when that's the first time. It's God, it's amazing. When then suddenly then that whole story and thinking of it and it's just coming back. Wow, that can be frustrating. I know. What is eternal life? I don't know. There's just life. I don't know. What is eternal life? There's just life. Everything is new. There's no before, there's no after, there's no eternal. There's just what is happening. It's always new. So nothing is, there's no continuation, something like that. Or it's always new. And it's not real. It's apparently real. Crazy. It's crazy. It's joy. It's joy. There's nothing happening. It's like, nothing matters. Wow, it's. That doesn't mean that it's always nice or so. No, of course not. Hmm. Another one. There's no meaning. No, there's no meaning. Only in the story there seems to be meaning. That's very important. But no, it's just what's happening without any purpose or meaning. No, just very neutral. What is? Oh dear. Thank you so much. Fresh and surprising. Oh, thank you. Surprising, yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah, there was somebody saying in another meeting, there was somebody saying something about meaning, that when in the story there seems to be no meaning of life, it's can be very depressing. And then he saw me talking like, oh, there's no meaning. And he was like very surprised. That's not the depressing thing. No meaning is like, that's the freedom. God, everything has a meaning. God. No, it's just abstracting what is. Oh, okay, another one. Building a bridge is a process. Need time and thinking. When I see an old bridge, there's a history. It's this different time that we are talking about. In the story, everything seems that there's time, and then there's a before and there's after, and we believe that there's yesterday, and then now today it's different because we have an image, so it's different than yesterday. It's a story about, it's with time and beliefs. So we believe when a little child, you could say, when a little child will see the bridge, there's just bridge. Suddenly, boom, there's bridge. There's no, a little child will say, oh, what it was yesterday. Did you build that already there? And no, that's how the story, the construct of the brain constructs a story. And we are so believing there's time, there's before. There's just, when they're seeing bridge, there's just bridge. And history, there can be a remembering, but it's not real. It's not. This is saying also, nothing is real. It's only apparently real. It's a mirage. So it's not solid. But because when you believe it's solid, it has to be a before and after, because there has to be building. But this is not about solid. It's a mirage. It's energy. It's not real. It's apparently real. It's just energy. So there's no before. History is just, can be a story, can be a nice story with no meaning and just there. And nothing is real. It's only a mirage. That's, yeah. Mm. Are we thinking we are doing it? No, it's just happening. It seems that it's just happening apparently. So that's the mystery. It's just, wow, it's just that, and then wow, it's just that. And we are thinking, oh, we're building, and then there's happening that, and then but it's so convincing. It's, of course, it's so convincing, and it seems so true. And then, oh God, nothing is real. It's just a mirage. It's just apparently real. God, it's amazing. It's just energy. Everything is just energy, not solid. It just, particles moving. It seems to be solid. And it's not that I'm telling how it is, the truth of how it is or something. It's just a suggestion, it's how it's seen here. And maybe there it's different, and then it's different. So what? That can be there. But it's just a suggestion like, oh, that is how it's seen here. And okay, it's presented like that. Nothing more than that. Oh, it's already time. Oh, I'm talking too long. No. What I forgot to say is that there's also a French meeting. If people talking French, we will do it next week. Also, was it 11? I think it's on my website. I think it was 11 till 12.
Volgens mij zondag om 11 uur.
Yeah, it's Sunday from 11 till 12. So if you speak French, maybe you like it to do that. I will do my best to speak French. Maybe there will be some English in between. So we'll see. Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, Manda. Oh, Hugo. Hey, hello, Hugo. Yeah, 14 Manda. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.